when you're getting ready to meet with an agent, maybe for the first time, how do you approach it? What do you say, or what do you ask them to kind of get the meeting going in the right direction?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question. I think the key is every agent or every office that you meet with, every situation, every sales opportunity we have is always going to be different. And for me, I've had to learn over the years that I didn't want to go into that meeting thinking I had it all figured out already. And so the first, 15, 20 minutes of the meeting, I spend building relationships with these people, especially if I don't know them already. And then after that, I'm asking them questions like, tell me about your business. How do you currently get your business? Tell me what you like about your current loan officer, or what you don't like about that loan officer. And so basically what I found is the agent's going to give me all the information I need to tell them what we're going to be able to do to help their business. So I go into every meeting with no preconceived plan, just asking questions and figuring out what they're looking for. A lot of times we don't even have to say the things we think we need to say, because we've either already been recommended by somebody that has given us a good referral, or it's a lot easier than we thought. So don't just run into a meeting blurting out whatever pops in your head until you actually get to know them a little bit and figure out what they're looking for.
Awesome. And once you get a sense of, after they've given you kind of some info on their current, like what they're doing or maybe what their pain points are, do you pull from like a standard library of responses, or how do you sort of respond once you've got some info from them?
Yeah, I mean, I found over the years that most real estate agents or referral partners really have kind of the same needs. And so there is some stuff that pretty much gets said during every meeting once you kind of find out what they're looking for. The main thing that real estate agents are looking for is communication. Whenever they've had a bad experience is because they couldn't get their loan officer on the phone, or they disappeared, or they didn't call their customer back right away. So communication is usually the number one thing that they want. But they also want to know that you're part of their sales team. So when I sit down with agents, I always tell them, listen, myself and my team, we're an extension of your sales team, because we really are in this together. Our ultimate goal is to get our customers into a house as smoothly as possible. And so when you give me a referral, my goal is to keep them with you as a real estate agent, and hopefully your goal is to keep it with me, right? But if we work together and keep that customer in the sales funnel to get them into the house that they're looking for. And so a lot of loan officers kind of think of themselves as an add-on feature, where I tell the agents I'm part of the feature.
That's pretty good. And your passcode went on here. You want to undo it so I can see the other things?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me record that.
We'll cut and paste some of this stuff.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I can't put my passcode on there. It's top secret.
1111.
Yeah.
What about, so kind of the goal at the end of the transaction? What is it that we're aiming for to have the customer sort of sense or be able to respond to once they've gone through the whole thing?
Yeah, so really what we've created at OVM is a customer-centric platform. So you hear a lot of companies talking about we're a realtor-centric platform. Well, we really believe that if you put the customer first and base everything around that, if you put the customer first and base everything off of that, everything else takes care of itself. And so this is what I tell real estate agents is that, yes, you're important and every referral is important, but when we put the customer first, everything takes care of itself. So the goal at the end of every transaction is for the customer to say, wow, that was a lot easier than I thought. And so we hear that a lot. Most people are really blown away by how easy the process went, and they were able to get into the house as smoothly as possible.
Cool. What sort of things does OVM do, or does the individual loan officer do to create that outcome that maybe is different than some of our competitors? Is communication really the primary, or there's some like process or back end things that we do that give us a little bit of an edge in that department?
Yeah, I feel like we've always done a really good job of overstaffing all of our departments, from underwriting to processing to closing. And so what that does is that helps ensure quick loan decisions, because loans are hard. These days it hasn't gotten any easier. However, when you have a department that always has the customer put first, or a whole company that has a customer mindset, it really makes it easy for us to make quick decisions, get back to the real estate agent, and again, making sure that communication is clear and that they understand what's going on.
Perfect. I think you hit on all these. Anything
Okay.
else you want to talk about that's important?
Well, the one thing I think is important is you have to have a mindset when you're meeting with agents that I kind of touched on it with being a part of the sales team, but not just walking around with a handout saying, "Hey, give me all your deals," right? Because I'm in your office, or because I'm just awesome, right? There's a lot of awesome loan officers out there that provide good service. So you have to separate yourself from everybody else. And so you have to actually earn their business. And so most people can get one lead from an agent, right? You can go out and get one lead. It's what you do with that first referral or that second referral that's going to determine whether you're going to get more referrals. And so I know if you go out and meet with an agent and they agree to start sending you some business, you think you've won, but that's just the beginning, right? It's really how you perform after that and able to keep the business flowing.
That's good. What about, so on the communication side, when we talk about being responsive and quick communication, is there a goal that you have in terms of turnaround for responding to emails and calls, like that
Yeah.
you use for your team that other LOs could pull from?
Yeah, so what we guarantee to our agents is that every lead that they've sent us, once we get the customer's information, that we give them an answer within 2 hours during the week. Because obviously I explained to the agents on weekends we can get their information anywhere. It's just I may not have my laptop up to pull credit. But really, we just try to provide a service. Again, it's all barred to being the sales team with the agent. And so if they do need somebody pulled on a Saturday because they want to go look at houses Sunday morning, then obviously we're going to make sure that happens for them. But we tell them that we will give them a 2-hour turnaround time, either a yes, no, or we need additional information before we can do it. And we'll also let the customer know. I mean, that's the biggest complaint I see from agents with loan officers is not getting back to them timely. So they get a lead and they feel like it falls into a black hole and they don't ever hear back what happened with it. Most of the time, the loan officer called them, got their information, either it didn't work out or, well, most of the time it's because it didn't work out. And so I know when I first started, I got fired by about 15 agents within my first few months because I got so busy with all the leads coming in that I had to prioritize my day based on what was the most important. And so a lot of the times if they didn't qualify, they got put on the back burner. And so I got fired a lot because of that. And so I learned I got to call everybody back, notify everybody as quick as possible, get it off my desk and move to the next thing.
So even when it's a no, that's still a critical piece of info that you got to send back to the agent.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want your agents, if they, live in Virginia Beach, driving to Hampton on a Saturday morning to show somebody a house that has a low credit score that needs some help. And we tell people, listen, just because they don't qualify now doesn't mean they'll never qualify. So we try to treat everybody the same. And as difficult as that can be, because sometimes we look at credit and be like, wow, these people are never going to buy a house. But the agents don't think like that for the most part. In their mind, they think that these people can buy a house, just not today. And so I've changed my mindset to feel the same way. It may be a couple years down the road, but if we take the time now, hopefully they're calling us in a couple years to sell them a house.
Sure. What about, so that upfront communication of get the lead, 2-hour thing, it's either going to be a yes or no or a, hey, in 6 months maybe